once again. Okay. So let me open the package here, file new, Java project. Okay, let us name the Java project as April. What is the date today? April 3, yeah? 3rd April. So click on next and click on finished. Okay, so you have the, let me close these things. Okay, so I will be creating how many packages? 3 packages. So always remember, so when you have in this example, so we are dealing with the 2 classes, right? So for each place, each and every class, okay, you have the library class, okay, and you have the what, you have the class like the book class. Okay, for each and every class, try to place each and every class under a package. Okay, I need to create package first. I need to create a package for the book. I have to create a package separately for book as well as for the library, and for the main method, for the main class also I need to create package. Okay, so I want to create how many packages? 3 packages. So package, 3 packages. So let us do it really quick. Right click on src, new package. So the name of the package is com.test. Okay, we are dealing with what you're going to deal with the library, right? Library class, right? So I'm taking the packages com.test.library. So one package is created successfully. Again, right click on source, new, and package com.test. What is the name of the another package? Okay, book. You are going to create a book class. So for the book class, I'm creating the package, right? And the last package is for the main class. File new class package com.test.driver package. Driver class or main class, both are same. Okay, both are they are giving the same meaning. Okay, right click on the package. Okay, first create the class for the book. I'm naming the class as book. Okay, so let me do this. Yesterday, someone has asked me one doubt. Okay, I will explain that for him. Here it is like I've created a class book, right? So in my book class, how many entities I'm going to take? Refer this diagram. I want to take the 2 variables. One is the book name and the book type. Both are of string type. Both are of what type? Both are of string type, right? Let me really quickly do that. String name, string, okay, and you have what, b type. Okay, this is of what variable? This is the access modifier is going to be private always. Okay, for now I'm not generating any constructors, any sectors. Okay, I have a book class. Inside my book class I have only 2 variables. Okay, and let me create a class for what? Let me create a class for the library. Okay, file new class, name of the class is library. The library class has been created successfully. So how many entities I'm going to take in the library? So one entity is what? String library name, and second one is the book itself, isn't it? So string l name. The second one is what? Second one is book itself. Okay, both are, so this book is the asset relationship, right? So I'm importing this because it is part of different package. So access modifier is going to be private and private. Okay, I'm taking only variables. Okay, I'm taking only variables. Now I am writing my main method file. Right click on the package, new, and class. So this is my main class. So the name of the class is going to be driver class. I'm taking, and I'm just checking this public static void. Okay, so when I check this, it is going to generate generate the main method as well. Okay. Now if you see, I have 3 classes. One is book class with 2 variables, and library class, okay, with the 2 variables, and I have what, driver class. So firstly I want to create an object for the contained class, right? Contained class. So how I can create an object for the contained class? So book b1 equal to new. Okay, I want to import this. I want to import this. Right? I have just created an object. So focus on this line. So let me remove this. Just focus on this line. So this is the object creation for the book class. If you look at closely, okay, you are able to, an object will be created in the memory, right? So this object is going to, allocate a memory for the instance variables. So this new keyword is allocating a memory in the RAM. So this is going to store the instance variables. So how many instance variables are there in the book class? You have book name and B name and the B type, right? So what will happen behind the scenes? Okay. In the beginning, B name will be created, and in the beginning the values are going to be null. The beginning nulls will be assigned to the respective variables. Next you have what? B type. Null will be assigned to the next respective variable, right? And this is going to have a reference. This is going to have a reference. Reference is what? B1. Now the question here is, I have the variable name as B name. I have the variable type as what? B type. The values are null. I want to assign the values. How I can assign these values? So in order to assign the values, you are using what? You are using the constructors. Okay, I need to write one piece of code here. What code I need to write? Inside my book class, I need to create my constructor. One is what? Either I can create what? All argument constructor. So I'm taking what? Right click on this class and click on source and generate constructors using fields and generate. Okay. So I have this constructor, right? Now if you see, now this is the constructor I have. Okay, this is the constructor I have. The constructor. And if I go and check the main method, right? So I have the book class. Okay. Now look at this constructor. Yes. Look at this constructor. A book constructor. This is the book constructor. So you are just using the new keyword, okay, and you are taking the type as book, and this is B1. So just using the new keyword. New keyword is creating this what we call it as the object, okay, and you are using the book constructor. So this book constructor is expecting what? A name which is of string type, and the type of the book which is also of string type, right? From the main method, you are allowed to transmit two values. From the main method, you are allowed to what? You are allowed to transmit two values. So this is the main method, right? So it is expecting two arguments. One is what? Book name. Name of the book can be something like ABC book. Book type. Book type can be what? The novel book or science fiction. Science fiction. Right? So you are passing these two values. Okay. Now what is happening behind the scenes because of these changes in the code? What is happening behind the scenes? You are passing the name as ABC and you are passing the type as science fiction. Isn't it? Okay. So this will be transferred to the constructor. This will be transferred to the constructor, and this will also be transferred to the constructor. Okay. Now ABC will be assigned to what? B name. Okay, and science fiction is going to be get assigned to what? B B type. That's why in the memory the null values will be replaced with ABC. Okay, and science fiction is going to get null value will be replaced by science fiction. Null will get replaced because you are using the constructor to assign values to the instance variable. This is why you're using constructor. I'm discussing this because one of the persons has asked me this thought. This is why we are using constructor. So without using this constructor, is there any other way that we can assign values to this instance variables? There is a way. I will tell you that way as well. Right? That's why I am generating the constructor. Without constructor, it is not possible to assign the values. There is a possibility that you can use setters also. You can also use setters, but this is the ideal way to assign values, right? So now we have successfully created what? We have successfully created an object for the book. Okay. Now let us see. Okay, now go to the library class. The library is expecting as two instance variables, a name of the library and the book it is expecting, right? In the driver class, I am creating an object for library. Library L1 equal to new library. Okay, I want to import this. So this line is going to do something behind the scenes. Okay, let me remove this. Not necessary. Okay, now additional line I am adding. This is additional line. Okay, and library object will be created. Okay, this library object is going to allocate memory for the two instance variables that is there in the library object L1, right? So what are the instance variables that we have in the library class? You have what? You have the library name and you have the book, right? So in beginning, L name is going to be null. L name, and you have what? You have the book. Null values will be assigned in the beginning. It's your responsibility to assign the actual values. So how you can assign the actual values? Either you can use constructor. If you do not like to use the constructor, you can use what? You can use setters. You can use what? If you don't like to use constructors, you can use setters, right? So that's why I'm generating setters. Okay, right click here and source generate. There is an option called generate getters and setters. Okay, select all. Select setters. Okay. Let me remove the getters. I'm just focusing on what setters. So there are two methods that are able to see here. There are two methods. One is set L name, set book. The name of the method itself is saying that okay, you are allowed to set name. You are allowed to use the set name method to pass the value to the library name. You are allowed to use the set book method to pass the value to the book. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to the main method. Okay, and this is the main method. So driver is a main method. I'm using this L1 reference. I'm calling the set name method. L1 dot set name. I can set the name of the library. Let us say the name of the library is NTR library. Okay, so you are calling set name. Okay, focus on this line again. You are passing what? You are calling the set name method, set L name method. You are passing value what? NTR library. Okay, this set name and NTR library is where is this? Okay, set name. This is a set L name method. So this NTR library will be transferred to. This value will be transmitted. Okay. Transmitted. It will be caught here, right? And you are assigning this value to what? L name itself, which is part inside the object. Okay, so this NTR library will replace what? Will replace the null. So null will be replaced by NTR library. So you can use the constructors or you can use the setters also to set the values. So why you are using this? You just set the values to the instance variables. Likewise, okay, if I want to do something like if I want to set name, okay, L1 dot set book. I want to set book. Okay, this book is what? It is expecting the book type. I'm passing B1 here. So what will happen, right? Okay, go back and see. So this is B1. You are passing what? You are passing reference of another object. To which method you are passing this reference of another object? Okay, to set book method. Okay, it will be transmitted to this book variable, and you are setting B1 to what? Setting B1 to the book variable. Okay, null will be replaced by B1. There is a connection now. There is a connection between these two. Internally, it is referring to what? This is referring to two things. Okay. Again, in the B1, you have two things. What are the two things? You have what? You have the B name and you have the B type. You have B name. Okay, and you have what? You have B type. Okay, B name is what? B name is ABC and B type is science fiction. ABC. Value is ABC and B type is science. Science fiction. That's it. So you are using setters or you are using constructors to initialize values to the instance variables. Okay, so far things are good. Now we'll come back to the actual topic, which is what? Composition, right? So I'm able to set the book as well as I'm able to set the library, right? Okay, now let us try to print it. Okay, go to the library class. I want to get the details. Public void get details. Okay. And also I'm trying to use the method like public void get book. Public void get book. I'm taking two methods, so two methods in two different classes. In the book class, I'm trying to print the book details. So system.out.println s/s4. Okay, b name, book name equal to, I want to print what? I want to print the book name itself, b name itself. Book name is book name. Okay, next one is book type. Right? I want to print what? I want to print B type. Okay. So I'm taking the why this is throwing another. Okay, capital T. In the library, I'm getting the details of the library. System.out.println. Okay. Library name. The name of the library is going to be L name. Okay. System.out.println. Okay, and I want to print what? Book. Okay, so book is allowing me to print what? Print the book name as well as what? Book type. So I can use this reference variable, okay, to extract what? I want to extract the name of the book. I want to extract the name of the book. So in this case, I will be requiring what? I will be requiring getters. I want to get the value that is inside what? That is inside the book class. Okay, I have access to the book, guys. Okay, if you see the object, I have access to the book. So I have access to this variable book. But I want to get what? I want to get the values of B name. Also, I want to get the values of B type. If you go and check inside the book class, you have created constructors to set the values. In the book class, you have an option. Okay, you have created the constructor to set the values, but you did not define any method to to fetch those values, to get those values. So in this case, here the getters are coming here. Getters are used to set the values, but if you want to get that values, getters are used to set the values inside the object, but if you want to get that values, you need getters. So this is where the getters are coming from. You need to generate getters also. File source. So generate getters and setters. Okay. You want what? You want to select only getters. Generate. Okay. You have the getter. These are the two getters. Okay. So getters are used to get the values that are stored in the object. Setters are used to set the values that are to the values, to the reference variables. Okay. Having said this, if I go to the library and say I can use this book reference variable to get the book name dot get book name. Okay, and I can use the same reference variable to get the book type. That's it. Okay. So now go to the driver class. Now you see what will happen. Okay, by using the reference value of v1, if I just print if I just print get book details, right? So I will be able to see the book details. Book name is ABC, book type is science fiction. Likewise, okay, if I just try to print if I try to print the details of library L1 dot get details. Okay, I will be able to print, okay, book name, book science fiction, library name NTR library. Again, under that I am printing book equal to ABC and book equal to science fiction. Okay, there is a problem here. If I try to destroy the library object, so destroying means just assigning the value null. Okay, assigning the value null. Assigning the value to L reference variable. L1 is L1 reference variable, library type. If I assign the value to null, so behind the scenes, okay, the library object will get destroyed. The library object is going to get destroyed. Okay, but the destruction will be limited to the library object only. The book object will not get destroyed. My intention is if I destroy the library object, the book object should also be getting destroyed. I want to destroy that automatically. Now this is not following the composition, this is following aggregation. It is following aggregation because destroying one object is not affecting does not have any impact on another object, right? What I'm trying to do now is, okay, I'm going back to the Eclipse editor. Okay, I'm not going to create any object for this book class. I'm not going to create any object for this book class. Instead, what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to remove the constructor. Okay, so this is my book class. I will be removing this constructor. Okay, I will also be removing this. I will also be removing this. I'm going to have only the name of the book and the type of the book, nothing else. I'm going to have only two variable names. But in the library class, okay, so let me remove all this nonsense not required. I'm going to generate the constructor using the fields. Okay, I'm saying public library. Okay, so firstly I will accept the string name, comma. Okay. Secondly, I will accept the book. Okay, so here I'm not directly accepting the book here. I'm accepting what? I'm accepting something like I'm accepting the string type itself. I'm not going to accept the book directly here. I will show you. First, let me write the code. I will show you what will happen if I accept the book directly. I'm not going to accept the book here. Instead of that, what I'm trying to do, I will say that there is a string variable as what? Name, comma, I will say that there is another string variable of what? Type. Now, this demonstration is going to be a bit confusing. Okay, so I'm going to transfer the name of the library, but for the book I just wanted to use the direct values. I want to pass the book name, and I do also want to pass the book type. So in the same category, book name I also want to pass. I also want to pass what? Book type, right? So in my book class, I am going to take only the constructor, source generate constructor using fields. So only all argument constructor I am taking it here. All argument constructor I am taking inside the book class. Okay. Now actual change in the library class. Okay, so library, okay, name I am taking, and also taking name. Instead of name, let me take b name. Instead of type, I am taking what? Book type. Okay, now what I'm going to do, this dot name equal to name. Okay, now here, so instead of taking what this dot b name, okay, I can directly take something like something like this. This dot book equal to new book. Okay, I'm passing b name to this constructor and b type to this constructor. Okay, allow me to execute this so that you will understand this. So I have just done some modification to my constructor. So we know few things here. So when I need to pass three values here. If I pass three values, how the object creation is going to happen, that we will understand. Let me go to the driver class. Okay, let me remove all this not required. I'm just trying to create object only for the library. Library L1 equal to new library. So my library is expecting what? Library name NTR library, and library book type. Book name is ABC book. Okay, and at last what it is expecting, science fiction. Type is science fiction. Now focus here. I'm creating only one object here. But because of this line, okay, because of this object creation, okay, so this is how the composition is going to work. So because of this object creation, let me take the new space. Okay, only one line. Within one line, I will be able to create two objects. How it is possible, we will understand. This is my object creation line. Okay, and I also want to take the constructor for the demonstration. What constructor I am taking it here? This is the constructor. Library not here. Okay, this is the constructor. Library constructor. Here your attention is much required. Library constructor. Make it big. Okay. So from the main method, I'm passing these three values. NTR. First value is what? NTR, right? So NTR will be transmitted. Okay, NTR will be transmitted here. Okay, so because of this new keyword, okay, this, an object will be created. The library has how many variables? Guys? Library has two variables, right? Library name, and second one is book, isn't it? Name of the library, and the second one is what? Book. The beginning, the values are going to be null. You know this. Okay, this is also going to be null. Okay. Now, because of this new keyword, this has happened behind the scenes, and the reference variable of this is going to be what? L1. L1 is a reference variable. Okay. And you are transmitting what? You are transmitting NTR to this NTR library. It means NTR library. You are what? You are saying ABC book to this, and you are passing science fiction here. Science fiction here. Now focus here. Okay, so directly this NTR has no issues. Okay, the value NTR will be assigned to L name, right? So NTR name becomes what? NTR. Name becomes NTR. So now see, you are passing ABC book here over here, and you are passing science fiction over here. Okay, and these two values are part of the new book constructor. New book constructor. Okay, here new keyword you are seeing. Okay, that new, because of this new keyword, right, an object will be created. Because of this new keyword, an object will be created. Right? So there is no reference variable for this object. You are just using this new keyword, object will be created, right? But see, you are saying this dot book. This dot book is what? So there is an instance variable, right? So if you go back and see the code, so this this book, it is indirectly like you are creating the object in the same line. New book indirectly means you are creating an object in the same line. So the object is the object creation thing is getting assigned to this book variable. Okay, here NTR, I mean the name of the library is NTR. NTR is getting assigned here. Right? Likewise, here you are not assigning the value directly. Instead of value directly, you are assigning the object creation values. You are assigning these things directly. Right? So because of this new keyword, what will happen? Book object has to get created, isn't it? Yes or no? Because of this new keyword, a book object has to be created. Okay, this reference variable is going to be what? The book itself. Okay, and internally, okay, it is going to store b name. Okay, and b type. Okay, the name b name is what? The ABC book. And the b type is what? B type is science fiction. Okay, so this is going to, okay, this book is going to, we think that this is going to be created here, but this book is the reference here internally. Okay, this object is this. There is no reference for this particular object. Okay, this is having an internal reference from the existing object. Only one reference is there, L1 object reference is there. This reference is not there. Internally, this is getting referred from here to here. This is how the object creation is happening. So there is a link between this. Okay, the moment you start this destroying this, okay, this is also get destroyed. Composition. You're destroying the main data. You're destroying the main what we call it as the main connection, right? The existing connection will also, the connected connection will also be destroyed. The connected object will also be destroyed. Previously, in the previous example, okay, in the previous example, it was like, okay, you are creating objects for two classes. Objects are created for the two classes. If you see, first you have created object for book class, then library class. Here you are not at all creating an object for the book class. Go and check the code. Object is getting created for what? Object is getting created for the library class itself, not for the book class. Library class, you are getting an object. Okay. If you destroy library, if you say L1 equal to null, okay, along with the library class, the book class will also be destroyed. Along with the library class, the book class will also be destroyed, because book class has a connection internally. It is connected internally. Okay, where is that? Okay, it has a connection internally. When you destroy this thing will also be destroyed. It is like when you just destroy this, okay, this is also going to get destroyed. It's a connection between this. So this is how you design the composition. This is how you design the composition. So this design is something very complicated. Okay, if you look at it for the first time, it looks very complicated, but you are ideally actually playing with the constructor. So this is what the playing the actual role, which is what this one. In the library class, when you design the constructor, you are playing with this constructor. You're passing two values. These two values is being consumed by the book constructor inside the library constructor. So there is a dependency. Library constructor is having another constructor inside, dependency. So this library, when you create an object for the library, the book object is also getting created internally. At the same time, when you create library object, book is getting created. When you destroy library object, definitely book object will also be getting created, because there is a constructor inside a constructor. There is a constructor within the constructor. There is a connection here. There is a connection here. There is a reference here. Okay. So is there any way? So by looking at this, is there any way? Okay, I can create object for the library. Can I create object for the book in this particular class? If you want to create, you can create separately. But if you maintain this kind of dependency, it is like, hey, if you create library object, definitely book object will also be created. It must be created. So this talks about what? This talks about composition. This completely talks about what? This completely talks about the composition, where you will not be creating an object for the container class. Okay, so this is a book class. Okay, if you want, you can create an object for this book class in the driver class. No issues. The book b1 equal to new book. no issues. But it will have the independent existence. Okay, let us say the book name is BDC. Okay, and let me pass something like the novel book. You cannot transfer this object, you cannot place this reference inside the library is not accepting. Okay, the library object is not expecting the b1 reference here. To create like this, it will definitely have the independent existence, but you cannot connect this object with the library, because library is, library, what we call as the library constructor, is expecting three direct values, three constant values. Okay, internally you are taking these two constants value and you're creating a constructor for the book internally. So you are creating a dependency between library and the book, so that when you destroy library, the book is also getting destroyed. But if you create the object separately for the book, you can create it, but it cannot be connected with library. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is going to do what? This thing is going to do, okay, definitely this is going to create an object for the book. There will be an object for the book. Okay, this is going to be BDC and the value is going to be what? Novel. But you cannot, I'm saying that you cannot connect this object with the library. It can have the independent existence, but there will be no as a relationship. This has nothing to do with the library. It's just like, okay, you carry some books to the college. There will be some books allocated in the library, right? Your books are limited to yourself. Okay, you cannot keep your books in the library, isn't it? Can you keep your books in the library? It is not possible. There is an independent existence for your book. Okay, but library book should be kept in the library. But if you destroy, the library is getting fired. Okay, if there is a fire accident in the library, books are going to get destroyed, isn't it? Okay, so this is having the independent existence which you cannot connect with the library. Why you cannot connect with the library? You see the library, right? It is you have designed the constructor in such a way that you are passing three values directly, but inside this you have mimicked something, so that you are creating an object book, or you are creating a constructor book inside this library constructor, a constructor within the constructor. This is actually making the purpose of what? Composition. You may be arguing, sir, I'm able to create separate book class, book constructor. You can destroy, but you cannot connect this with library. So that's what I'm trying to say. You cannot connect this with the library. Okay, the things will not make any sense if you just listen to this, right? If you just just try to redo it, or if you just try to type it by yourself, and you can have the conclusion. I've explained this from the beginning in the sense, I have explained you once again about why the constructor is necessary, why setters are necessary, why getters are necessary. Then I have concluded about what? I have concluded about composition. Okay. Now can I say that the moment I destroy L1 object, okay, definitely L2 object will also be destroyed. No scope here. Making sense? You just think like you are dealing with two different sets of data. And you have to think like that. My analogy would be little crazy, or little what we call it as little confusing, because the real-time analogy cannot be connected. You cannot connect that directly to the Java analogy, right? Both are different, but symbolically the meaning is same. Okay, so when it comes to Java, you have to think about the memory and the objects. From that perspective, you have to think, right? I hope this is